Parenting Junkie.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Parenting Junkie, the place to go to love parenting and for parenting from love. Have you ever wondered how you can help ensure that your child's body autonomy is respected? In this video, I'm going to give you 10 do's and don'ts, so you'll have a clear picture around the ways that you can help your child to gain greater body autonomy in their life. So stick around till the end because you'll want to hear that do. Many of us get a bit confused when it comes to body autonomy and limit setting, and I want to set the record straight on that one. Children are one of the last groups of people whose autonomy and freedom is being fought for. It is our job, you and I as intentional parents, to spread the word that children are free and autonomous creatures, worthy and deserving of respect, just like any other human. So if that's a message that resonates for you and you want other people to hear it, click the like button so this video can be discovered by the people who need to hear it the most. Number one, offer physical touch unconditionally. So many times we hear people bribing children that they will give them a kiss or a hug or hold them if they do certain things. If they stop crying, if they hand over whatever they're holding, if they come right now, etc., etc. Or it's much more subtle. We simply offer physical touch as a reward for behavior that we want to see more of. Physical touch should be a free exchange of honest, authentic affection and love between people. And we want to try to become aware of when it's becoming a transaction and a commodity that we're using to modify behavior. Number two, receive physical touch unconditionally. The same holds true for how we accept physical touch from our children. So often we hear parents and uncles and aunts and grandparents cajoling and manipulating and even bribing or threatening children about physical touch. Come and sit on my lap or else I will tickle you. Give me a kiss and I'll give you a candy. These types of transactional approaches to physical touch teach children to use physical touch as a currency to get what they want. It's a subtle but profound message, and one we need to stop doing. Let physical touch flow freely from you to your children and from your children to you. Number three, do not tickle or roughhouse without consent. Tickling is a great topic for a whole nother video, but any kind of roughhousing game like catching a child, grabbing them, turning them upside down, making them laugh, etc., etc., should only be done with consent and continuous consent. I.e., just because the child told you to chase them to begin with doesn't mean that they're still enjoying you chasing them now. So if you're playing roughhousing games, and I strongly advise that you do, they're fun, they're connective, they're a great way to play with children, but only if there is a continuous password or code or a continuous checking in. Do you want me to keep doing this? Are you enjoying this? Is this something that you feel good about? The child needs to know that at any point, if they say no, you respect that no. If they say stop, you will stop. Number four, give your child a voice. Teach your child to say no. It might sound like something that goes without saying, but unfortunately it really isn't. And we see that in the result of millions of adults who don't know how to say no when their body is touched or used in ways that make them feel uncomfortable. Give your child the words to use. Tell them, no, it's my body. I don't like it when you do that. Or, no, I don't want to play that game. No, I'm not feeling comfortable with this. No, I don't like being touched in that way. No, I don't want to give you a kiss right now, etc. Give them the words to use and empower them to use those. Side note here is you have to realize that your child is going to use those words to you as well. So when you are trying to do something to their body that they don't want, they will be able to say to you from a very young age, it's my body and it's my decision. And that is a very good thing. 5, use real language when it comes to speaking about bodies and model no body shame and body autonomy yourself. Teach your child about anatomy and science and how babies are made. I have a whole separate video if you'd like a script and 5 twos for how to teach a child about how babies are made. But the point is that this should be an open and ongoing conversation. Children who feel embarrassed and get the message from the adults in their lives that speaking about bodies, body parts, or body functionality is something embarrassing, something to be ashamed of, or something inappropriate for children, are children that are more likely to be targeted by predators or by people who are going to take advantage of them, because they don't have the language to even speak about what's going on. Give them that language by speaking unabashedly and clearly and scientifically about your body, their body, and all the different amazing things that bodies can do. Number 6, don't shame your children for touching themselves in ways that might make you feel uncomfortable. Children learn to pleasure themselves from the age of 0. As uncomfortable and strange as that might seem in some cultures, it's just a fact of life. And all you need to teach them is proper boundaries and privacy, teaching them that they can always go to their bedroom or to the bathroom if they're going to put their hands in their pants, but not to do so in front of others or with others. Having said that, sexual play among children is a very normal thing. We can talk about that separately, but I just want to say it shouldn't be vilified. It shouldn't be an anxiety-producing thing. It should be something that we know is part of normal childhood development, and our role is to stay calm and communicative and help our children learn to set privacy boundaries and behave appropriately in public and with other children. 7. Do teach children about tricky adults or older children or even children in their same peer group. Teach them about which behaviors are inappropriate that they should never allow, such as someone else touching their private parts or asking to see them without clothes on, etc. Even another person continuously encouraging them to be alone with them or to sit on their lap is a red flag that children need to know is inappropriate. Now, we don't want to produce major anxiety about stranger danger, and we don't want to make them think that everybody's a predator. I want to strongly discourage you from going down the anxiety route. The important thing here is that you teach your kids that really only their parents and maybe their pediatrician should be allowed to see them without their clothes on or ask them to do that kind of thing. And if anyone else ever asks them to do that, they should be reporting to you immediately, and you will always be absolutely open and available to talk about anything they're not sure about. Number 8 is do not allow others to bribe your children into giving them physical affection or touching them in any kind of way, like sitting on their laps, being allowed to pinch your child's cheek, or to give them a kiss. I know this is a tough topic with loved relatives who expect this, and in many cultures, not kissing someone when you greet them is really rude. I get it. But we as intentional parents have to learn that whilst we want to encourage our children to show the physical affection that is culturally appropriate in our community, we also need to protect their body autonomy and their right to give affection and give touch freely, as we stated in number 2. So here it's really about speaking gently to the other adults in your life and just pointing out that you don't want them to be pushed into kissing or sitting on a lap, and that you really want it to come from their heart when they're ready. And if you feel so inclined, perhaps you can share some research or a couple of bullet points of data to support you on this, but basically just saying, let's not push her into kissing you, or let's not push him into sitting on your lap, or I really don't think he enjoys his cheeks being pinched, and setting that boundary for your child when they're unable to voice it because it's, an authority figure in their lives. But if saying it softly like that isn't enough, then saying it a little bit more firmly, such as, in our family, we don't force kisses, or in our family, we don't guilt children into sitting on our laps, or our kids will give you a hug when they're good and ready, but meanwhile, here's one from me. Just try to diffuse the tension that way, but basically making it very clear that you won't allow that to happen. Number 9 is do not force feed. Food is another area of body autonomy that sometimes gets disrespected, right? We think it's our jobs to shove in the nutrients, minerals, and vitamins and fiber into those little kids, and when they won't eat it, we'll do all sorts of manipulations and bribery and rewards and guilting to get our children to eat. But if you look at my video about mealtime, stress-free mealtime, and the division of responsibility by Ellen Satter, it's really important to remember that it is not our responsibility to decide what children eat. It's our responsibility to provide the food and then to allow children to do the rest, which is how much they want to eat and whether they want to eat. Force feeding is actually a violation of body autonomy in this sense. And my final point is a do. All of this body autonomy talk that is extremely trendy right now is important, it's meaningful, it's massive, and how we treat our children when they're very young is going to inform how they treat their bodies and allow others to treat their bodies when they're adults. But we have to remember that parenting young children is a physical relationship. Just like a baby does not have full control over their bodies and they need to be carried, they need to be fed, they need to be dressed and undressed by us. They cannot do those things for ourselves. So too in early childhood, there are many things that absolutely demand you are overriding your child's body autonomy in some respects. And what I mean here is the obvious ones like safety and health, and the less obvious ones like limit setting. So when it comes to safety, we all understand that we have to strap our baby in a car seat, whether they like it or not, even if it violates their body wishes and their freedom. And we can do so in a gentle and communicative and respectful way and without anger, but at the end of the day, it's absolutely our responsibility to do so. Same goes for health. If our child needs a medicine or needs a medical procedure, as much as we don't want to violate their body autonomy, we as the responsible adults who are privy to information that they're not, need to give it to them and confidently. But I also want to extend this to limit setting. You know, if your child is having a hard time at the park and it's time to go, sometimes you will need to pick that child up and take them away. If a child is hitting another child and words have not helped, you will need to physically block them and stop them. If your child is ripping at you or trying to bite you and scratch you, you will need to use your hands as gently as you can to physically hold their body away, to restrain them somehow. This, to my mind, is not a violation of body autonomy. It's a necessary and built-in part of parenting young children.
If you're looking for a supportive community of like-minded parents, I warmly invite you to join our Love Parenting with Untitled Facebook group. Plus, head on over to theparentingjunkie.com and sign up for email updates so I can gift you my free PDF guide, 10 easy steps to transform your home into a play-inducing haven.
I would love it if you leave your ideas for how we can respect body autonomy, or perhaps stories from your family, in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube, and when you do, make sure to hit the little bell so that you are actually notified when I upload a new video, which is every Monday. Keep on loving parenting and parenting from love, because your kids need you almost as much as you need them.
The Parenting Junkie.